Getting your first role as a manager is both the most exciting thing that can happen in your career, but also can be very daunting. Many managers, I think, find that first few months of being in role and leading a team a very big change from what they were doing before. Being successful as an individual contributor is so different to being successful as a manager and leader, where you need to achieve your results through others. So in this video, I'm going to share 5 tips that I think make the biggest difference when starting out in your management and leadership journey. My name is Helen Bryant. I am a management and leadership coach and trainer. I'm on a mission to help managers and leaders learn the skills that help them thrive in their roles and lead their teams brilliantly. Okay, so you're new in role. You've been working towards this moment for a long time. You're here, you have a new team, and then suddenly it's day one. I see one of the biggest challenges that new managers find is this transition from one role of delivering in role themselves to this new role of achieving results through other people. Work really is 2 things. People who are all different and have different needs and demands and are motivated by different things, and problems. The problems never go away. It isn't a case of let's just do this same thing over and over again. Constantly things are coming up and changes in the air. So it's managing those 2 things together that gives so many managers the challenges they face, because often the team are looking to you for the answer. Now, when people go into role, one of the things I normally see is they're not a manager and that's their only role. They're a player manager. So they still have their own responsibilities to deliver, as well as leading a team. And that's actually one of the trickiest positions to be in. I found it was much easier to lead a team as a second line manager than it was as a first line manager when I had the player responsibilities as well. Because when you're just managing people, you can really focus on the skills of managing and leading. But when you're wearing both hats, it can be a bit more difficult. And that's why these tips, I think, really help you get clear on what it is that you're there to do and learn about your team. So what are they? What would I recommend that you do? The first thing is you need to get super clear on what is expected of you, and that will come from your manager. So what are your objectives? What are the results that they expect to see in the coming year and even in the shorter term windows? I would really focus your first plan as a manager over that first quarter. Bring it right down so that you can both orientate yourself to what you have to do and learn on the way. So you need to get super clear on what your manager's expectations of you. But don't just stop there. Really learn, what do they see are the challenges that you face? What for them are the things that are going really well already? So you really learn what their assessment is of you as a team and what you need to do to be successful. The clearer you can get on this earlier on, the more, as you learn the information and build that knowledge in that first 12 weeks, it slots into a context of knowing why it's so important and whether it's relevant or not relevant. Another tip is to go deeper. What challenges do they face? What are the things that really may be keeping them awake at night? Again, learning early on what these challenges are sets you up really well, so that over the coming weeks, months and years, you set yourself up to address those challenges and deliver for that person. Remember, they ultimately will be assessing whether you've done a good job or not. So know what they want from you. The second group of people to get to know is obviously your team. Now, for a team, when somebody new comes in, it can be quite unsettling. The way that things were done before might be about to get challenged or changed. You don't know each other yet, so trust is really quite low. And so one of your first jobs is to get to know each other and start to build that trust up. And I would always hold back in the early days of what you think about things. Make sure you're spending lots of time learning what they think about things. Remember, you, in this situation, You have the power. And what you're rapidly going to learn is people can be very guarded and not necessarily tell you what they think. They start to let you know what they might think you want to hear. So creating really open communication is an absolute essential part of building the relationship between you and your team members. And don't just get to know them about the work. Spend time in that first 12 weeks having a really solid career conversation. So what's their story so far? Learn about them. And then what do they want to achieve in their career and what do they want to get from this role? And the more you start to understand what motivates a person, the more you can create work experiences and delegate work that address what they're looking for or the challenges that they face or the things that they enjoy. And people automatically will start to be more engaged in their work and with you and do a better job for you. So really spend time getting to know your people. Don't just keep it at the superficial level of what we're working on. Take time out to speak in depth and at length. Which brings me to point 3. You need to start to set up an operating system for how you are going to work. If you stay in an ad hoc and individualist way of working, you're now a team leader, this is not going to work. The way you work has to fit with the team, but also to make sure that you deliver what is required of you. So firstly, look at the workflow for the coming quarter. What are the key meetings? Make sure you're looking ahead and thinking, where do we need to be as a team at each of these points? But I think one of the most important things to get set up within the first 12 weeks are your one-to-ones. So one-to-ones are structured discussions with your direct reports where you focus on what they want to focus on, where you get updated on the work, but also support, give feedback and help with their development. Now, I've done several videos and I have several resources all on one-to-ones and I'm linking them all down here. So if this is something that is new to you, I'd really spend time getting these key moments of alignment. So get your one-to-ones in. Another tip is to batch them. So do them like on the same day. And then get them in the diary and know exactly when they're going to be with you and your direct report. So you have a conversation about what will make a good one-to-one and you agree how you're going to do them together. If you keep them ad hoc, I find they always get deprioritized and moved. And the more you keep them as this is an essential part of how I manage my team and I do them on, say, a set day or split over 2 days and I do them every week, the better you will work with each other. And I promise you, this will save you time because what it does is focus conversations into one point. So a lot of that ad hoc communication just goes away because that's on the email or on Slack or Teams. That can quieten because you're having these really focused discussions. So schedule your one-to-ones and start to look at how you're going to manage your time to deliver. Step 4 is you need to start to build your network for your new role. And the priority people to connect with and get to know and link with are the key person cross-functionally. So who are the key people in the other functions that your workflow flows through and between that you need to know. Now, you may well know them, but actually it's still worth sitting down in your new role and with that mindset to talk to them. If you don't know them, it's a real case of getting to know them and learn more about them and build that relationship. But secondly, it's a brilliant opportunity for feedback. What are their views on your team? What do they see as working? What issues do they see? What you'll often see is there's friction in workflow as it moves between functions, and real collaboration removes those. Great leaders can remove that friction across functions as they move from a more command and control way of controlling their team to a much more collaborative leadership approach. And that's what you're aiming for. So spend time building up that network with your key cross-functional colleagues. Definitely get those meetings done within the first 12 weeks. And the final thing to do, tip 5, is you need to schedule time to reflect and shape your plan. It is very easy, and you will find as the work comes in that you keep deprioritizing your time to plan. But if you don't plan and look ahead, your team will always be on the back foot, because you will be reacting to events as opposed to looking ahead and getting ahead and giving direction, looking for opportunities to delegate, looking for opportunities to make sure that the work is done to a really high standard at certain points of collaboration. You'll also need time to reflect as a leader of your team on, over that first 12 weeks, what have you learned? What are you doing well? And actually, what are the things in the team that may need to be done better, that would make it easier, that would make it more efficient? What are your team looking for from you? What are the development goals that they have? Are you going to be able to find opportunities to deliver for them in finding work experiences? You need time to think. Now, I would say as a minimum, this should be once a month, that you give yourself, say, 2 hours to be in a quiet place away to plan. And on the quarter, I would use it as like a milestone, because coming out of that would be a fantastic opportunity to re-engage with your team as you focus on the priorities for the next quarter. And it's a time that at the end of that first quarter, you can look back and say, okay, this is what I've learned. This is what I see that's brilliant, and this is what I see that I think we're doing really well. This is the one or two things that I see that perhaps we could do a bit better, and enter into a conversation about how you could do that with your team. If you do that, you'll be moving through every quarter a constant stage of knowing where you're going, aligning your team, building trust and delivering. And it makes such a difference to your control and to your time management. Now, people often say to me as managers, the number one thing that comes up in my management workshops when I say, what are the challenges of being a manager? People say time. And I share the same thing. Time is fixed. Actually, what your challenge is a challenge of priorities. So these quarterly planning sessions allow you to prioritize and check that your team and you are working on the most important and highest value activities, and that you can make plans around how you achieve that. And so the benefit of doing this is it helps you manage your time. It gives you confidence that your team and you are working on the right things. And I'm not kidding, when you're a new manager, that is a brilliant thing to get to. That confidence that you're going the right way. It will really fire you on and make you more successful. So there you go, 5 tips for any new manager to be successful. So let me just remind you what they are, a quick summary. 1, get super clear on what the expectations of you are, and your manager is the main source of that information. So spend time with them, really understanding what's going on. Secondly, spend time with your team, really get to know them, understand what's happening in the team, what they're doing, but also what are their career aspirations and what motivates them, so that you can harness that motivation as you delegate work going forward. 3, start to set up your operating system, and in particular, get all your one-to-ones diarised. Getting that as a foundation of working with your team will save you time in the long run and keep you and your team super focused on the important tasks. 4, reach out to your cross-functional colleagues and get to know them and really understand from their point of view for your team, what are you doing well and what are the 1 or 2 things that perhaps are not so good and you could do something about. And the final thing, schedule time to reflect and plan so that you're always thinking ahead for where you need to go, that you have greater clarity, you can align your team better, and you will build stronger trust within the team. That's it. Now, as I said, I've put resources below, particularly on the one-to-ones, so click on those if you are completely new to management and want to know how to make that section work. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me on social. I'm on LinkedIn and Instagram. Please do DM me, or here in the comments below. I would really like to connect with you. With regard to YouTube, please subscribe and ring the bell so that you get notified of each and every video that I release. I'd really appreciate your help in building up this community of managers and leaders who want to thrive in their careers and create a really great workplace for all their team. And that's it. I will see you next time. Till then, bye.